No one can leave! Executing Legion of Immortality General Amon's orders!
Amen. Descendant, I must access the quantum monument. Defeat the Vulgus.
Shields are down. Need to be recharged.
void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily. Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded.
Begin.
The Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Clipper! Stand at the vanguard for me, Al-Zaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. Armor, transport the Ironheart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Descendant, even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it. Ironheart detection system has a scanning function which uses Arcade to detect certain environmental factors. Within zones where Arcade can be detected, my system can track the Ironheart through its unique pulse, particles, and energy. The tracking range and accuracy depends on where Arcade particles are distributed across Ingress. At present, considering the operational zones where Descendants are deployed, approximately 35% of Ingress can be covered. I have just detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location, which is important. There is clearly something of interest at the Vulgus munitions factory. By using my detection system Descendant, I can find traces of the Ironheart through Descendants who have been deployed throughout Ingress. However, the Vulgus called Eamon, the one who accessed the quantum monolith, gained a great deal of relevant information after repairing the Ironheart. It seems the theft of the Ancestors' data was also led by Eamon. Even though he is a Vulgus, he possesses a high level of understanding of the Ancestors' technology. However, a Vulgus is only a Vulgus. They cannot defeat a direct descendant of the Ancestors. Use me to find the Ironheart Descendant. I will assist humankind from this moment forward.
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ.
The success of this operation will lead us to victory.
Descendant, a quick word before the briefing. You seem to be a little too preoccupied with your AI friend at the moment. As your commander, I'm concerned that you're prioritizing the guide over the operation report. The guide is only a strategic tool. I tolerate her under the condition she does not cross a line, but I don't consider her to be one of us. She is essentially data, and data can be manipulated by external factors, or even by itself. We should never see it as being at the same level as those of us who have fought together against the enemy and built our trust in each other in the process. Keep that in mind, and you'll be the best teammate anyone could ask for. That being said, this operation was expertly handled. I trust you to keep up the good fight, Descendant. As you may be aware, the guide has detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location.
The location is inside the Vulgus munitions factory. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces have been conducting stealth reconnaissance, but time is running out.
Once you've completed preparations, join Sharon and look for traces of the Ironheart. We've kept our end of the bargain. Now it's the guide's turn to prove her worth.
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
All quiet. We'll soon have some decent weapons thanks to some great veteran. Isn't that great? I miss my family a lot when I was with the dispatch group. You have no idea how happy I am to be an Elven.
We must get hold of the Ironheart. Sacrifices that will have to responsibility. The burden of any leader who plans operations to lead soldiers to their deaths. It is mine to carry. And if it's needed, I will endure it. No, I must endure it. I'm not in a position to indulge any petty emotions. We still don't have enough information. Only the right decision will mean less blood will be shed. I know that, but I don't know enough to make a sound judgment. I have to hope that the investigative corps will bring back results. Without the Ironheart, the Magisters say that there's only so much data they can provide. We need to do something. Our first priority must be to recover the Ironheart. There is no other way.
Deactivating active camouflage. Sorry, I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind, wherever it goes. I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the Archae of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon. Descendant, this is a bogus logistics facility where raw materials and products needed for the munitions factory are distributed. As this is where the Ironheart particles were detected, we may find a lead in their distribution records. If you can connect your receive to a terminal, I'll try hacking into the distribution records. Substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Carell aboard. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Descendant, I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.